What is going on, guys? Welcome back. Sorry, it's been a little bit, been a little busy, but I wanted to talk today, and I'm probably gonna put this on my podcast playlist. But I wanted to talk today about something that I've seen come up numerous times, and something that is kind of the talk of the town the last probably year and a half. You know, you see these dudes on Facebook, on YouTube mainly, you know, and what they're doing is door knocking, okay, to try and get sales. And first and foremost, I just want to put out there, I think it's a terrible thing to do. I think that there is so many more things that you could be doing with your time, especially if you're just starting out. This is mainly going towards the people that are just starting out, that are just kind of scratching at the post for jobs, for leads. I think there's so many more things, and I'm going to go over them, that is better than door knocking. Okay, and I'm going to give you all the reasons why I hate door knocking. Absolutely despise it. I think it's just the poorest thing you can do in regards to trying to get clients, personally. Now, I'm not talking storefronts, I'm not talking commercial, I'm not talking cold calling, I'm talking residential, door-to-door knocking, okay? And we're just going to get into it. So, first and foremost, I want to give some reasons why I think that it is just a terrible, terrible thing to do. And I'm going to give examples because this just needs to be heard, okay? And I think it's just it just gets under my skin. It gets me a little fired up. So we're gonna get into it. So the first thing that I think, and I think it's the biggest thing, is just the intrusiveness that door knocking is doing. Okay, like you are intruding on somebody's property. You're intruding on somebody's most sacred place, their home, and it is just crummy. For instance, I had a guy the other day. It was one of those vacuum sales guys. And I, being the kind gentleman that I am, answered the door. Usually kind of peek outside first, looking to see kind of what we have going. Saw who it was. There was a car parked on my door. I didn't know, right? I didn't know. They kind of give you this little gift. I think it was like a Tide thing. And, he goes... They're very slick about it, and it's kind of what hooked me, and it wasn't on purpose hook either. I kind of got swindled. But he said, "Hey man, I got this thing. I'd love to see you, try it out. Being a business guy myself, I'd like to give people opportunities. Maybe they got something awesome. I don't know. Maybe they got something just flipping cool. I have no idea." No, it was a vacuum guy who wanted to come into my home and try to sell me the world's most expensive vacuum. And it was an absolute terrible experience for me, for everybody involved. I didn't like it. Like I said, I'm too nice most of the time, and it tends to bite me in the tail afterwards. So he did a spiel, and I got to a point where it was like 30 minutes down the road here, and I'm like, "Look, dude, I got things I got to do. I got to go get my son. He's coming off the bus soon, something." I was trying to get this dude out of my house. He was asking me to work on, it's just, do you have any beds I could vacuum? I was like, "No, man, no, you're already in my house. It's already progressed way farther than I want." But it just left an iffy taste in my mouth. And on top of that, what really irked me was his boss that came in after the guy, radioed him and says, so the head guy must just drop people off in these neighborhoods, because he had to go call and be like, "Hey man, this guy has some questions." I didn't have any questions. I didn't want to ask anything. But he said, "Hey man, this guy's got some questions. Can you come over here? Plus he's got to go. We got to get rolling." And he had him on speaker. He's like, "Well, does he really have questions, or are you just trying to do it?" He's like, "No, dude has questions." I didn't have questions. Dude comes in, immediately jumps down this dude's throat in front of me, treats him like complete dirt, treats him like the dude doesn't know anything. Yeah, the guy's relatively new. I found out, and the dude was trying his best. He was working hard, man. He was trying to work hard, and I wish I could have helped him, but I don't want a $1,500 vacuum, so nothing I could really do for him. I did give him a card. I was like, "Man, you want a real job? You want a job? I'm probably going to be hiring soon. Holler at me, okay? Because I'm going to treat you a hell of a lot better than this guy's treating you." And I told him, I was like, "Dude, you shouldn't be treated like that. You should not be treated the way this gentleman's treating you." And I told him that in front of the guy. These guys, it's all right. I go, it's not all right. And he went on his way. Intrusiveness. You should not be knocking on people's door, basically begging for them to use your service. That is not the clientele you want. That is not the leads you want. Okay? Because 99% of the time, 95% of the time, you ain't going to close that. Okay? You're not going to seal the deal. And I watch these videos and I'm watching these guys and they're like pressuring salesmen. It reminds me of the car lot. And it just leaves just a wicked taste because it gives a bad name to all the guys out there trying to do it the right way. And most of their numbers, it's all clickbait. Most of the numbers are dead in the water anyway. They ain't right. And so intrusiveness. Don't go on somebody's most sacred ground, their home, and just treat it that way. Okay. Next one, super time consuming. Unless you got a 10 or 20 man army out there scrolling these neighborhoods, it is the return on it is not good. Now, if you got an amazing crew already, if you're out there knocking $1 million a year, and you're like, what are some steps that we can take? And you go out and hire 5 guys to go out, doing some door knocking. Okay, maybe. I still think it's cruddy of you. I still think there's better ways, but at least you got the money to back it, and you got you've proven yourself. Now, I still don't recommend pressuring people. I still don't think it's the most amazing way to get leads, but to each their own. I'm mainly talking to the people that are just beginning. Limited reach. Same thing, kind of like time consuming. Limited reach. You're on ground. I've seen guys come up on my road on these electric scooter looking things. It's still going to take you forever. It's going to take you all day just to go up and down my road of 150 houses. Okay? Limited reach. There's a lot better ways. And I'm going to tell you these ways. A lot better ways to get clients. We're talking about door knocking. We're talking about how much I hate it. We're talking about crummy people that do it. And I usually don't get this fired up, but this just irritates me. It rubs me the wrong way. It makes me feel all bad inside. Anyway, safety concerns. Hello, the world we live in right now is absolutely garbage. We're going to put that out there. Yes, there's always been bad people, but you can't turn on the news anywhere and not hear about just the horrible things that are going on. You can't, look on Facebook. You can't, it's a different world. Whether you like it or not, it's a different world out there. And it's not getting any better. So if you want to knock on everybody's door with the risk of them, inviting you in for some cookies or coffee and end up, you being on a milk carton, so be it. It's not worth it to me. It's absolutely not worth it. So those are some reasons why I think door knocking is for the birds. Okay. So we had intrusiveness, time consuming, limited reach, safety concerns. Okay. Now, there are several alternatives for sales other than door knocking for sales techniques. All right. So now I'm going to give you some excellent alternatives to being a crummy door knocker. First and foremost, and this is kind of how I build up things, and I'll harp on this till the day I die. If you've been watching my videos, you know that that's true. Networking events. They are awesome. Find people that I mentioned this in a past video, and I had a guy comment or message me, whatever. What do you mean by networking? What do you mean by getting a network circle, a group, whatever? So what I mean by networking is you need to find complementing businesses or business owners that you can complement with your business. So for me, being a window cleaning business, I'm looking at home service-based businesses. I'm looking at pressure washers. I'm looking at even plumbers, electricians, anybody that's getting into these houses that I want to be into. That's who you want to partner with. And creating and cultivating relationships with these folks who can really add value to themselves and to you. Because at the end of the day, if you're adding value to yourself and your client, or if you're adding value to yourself and for your client, then the client's going to keep you around more. Okay. I can't tell you how many times, clients have asked me, do you know a good plumber? Do you know a good gutter cleaner? I don't do that. Do you know a good pressure washer? Absolutely I do, and I will set this thing up for you even. I will go the extra mile. I will do, because they remember that. And they're like, man, that dude helped me out a lot. That dude's good. Let's call him back. I like him. Networking. And there are some paid networking groups out there. I don't believe in them. I think half the time you're just, I don't know. I just don't think it's worth it. I've been in a few. I've seen a few. I've known people who've been in a few. If you find one that's awesome, it's like what do you call it? It's like a networking group. I can't think of the name of them, but they're kind of like all over the United States, and there's just different chapters of them. BNI, Business Networking International. Not a big fan for me. Some people it works really well. It's a massive time commitment. And for people with young families like myself, that is very difficult to do. They were wanting me once a week for 2 hours every morning at like 6 a.m. Another one was at like 9 a.m. Those are prime hours. I can't do it. And if you can't do it and you can't provide a sub to go for you, then you'll eventually get kicked out without any of your money. So I'm talking about organic networking, okay? Via Facebook, via Instagram. Realtors are huge. Just really setting yourself around the people that you guys can glean off of. Another one, that was networking, events, social media. And like I said, for people that have been watching me, I built my business social media. I'm very active on my Facebook, very active on my Instagram. Don't really have a Twitter. Don't really got an X. I got one, I think. I account, but I really don't do much with it. Threads is a new one. Don't really know much about that one. I know a lot of people are migrating to that. But social media can be a stinking goldmine if you know what you're doing. If you get in front of the right audience, you're not sticking yourself. So cold calling reminds me, not cold calling. Door knocking reminds me of when, you know how you get those Facebook requests from folks that are asking you to like this page you never even heard of? Or follow it. Unless you genuinely know those people or you know what they're about, liking it's not going to do a ton. I don't do it that often. I have done it a couple times because you like seeing that number of followers go up, right? But you're creating an audience that's not going to value or know your story. You're creating an audience that you're not going to be intertwined with, and eventually those followers are going to start falling off when you start posting stuff that they don't care really anything about. So it's artificial. And at the end of the day, that's what I think door knocking is, 100% artificial. Cold calling. This is different, okay? And this is mainly towards commercial work. It's people that cold call, or like construction. Like for me, cold calling builders, businesses. I don't cold call people. That's weird. That's just called spam. But just cold calling people, asking to talk to their facilities lead, asking to talk to their the business liaison, like anybody that makes those type of decisions, whether it's window cleaning, pressure washing, who to work with in regards to different plumbing issues. Getting on a vendor list is huge. Once you're on those vendor lists, like I've been on a few vendor lists for builders over the last couple of years. Haven't really got a ton of calls, but I'm there. And and if it comes down to it, all I need is one time to prove myself and my worth and my value. And if that coincides with the price that I'm charging, then they're gonna call me back every time. All it takes is one time. Cold calling is different. Don't get it confused with door knocking. Okay? It's different. But I think cold calling is a good opportunity, and you have to provide value during that cold call. You have to personalize it, provide value, and say, man, hey, look, I'm just looking to come give a quote. Do you guys have anybody that works on your windows? Cleanliness wise, like, do you guys have anybody that cleans your windows? Are you happy with them? Are you looking for anybody else? Leave a voicemail, stuff like that. And same thing goes kind of with email marketing. That's another one. Email marketing is a great way. I use it with my CRM. And if you don't know, I use a fantastic CRM that I became an ambassador for. And if you want a link for a 2-week trial, ask me. Leave a comment below and I'll get you one. It's awesome. Total game changer. It is a secretary in your pocket. I never have known anybody that switched to just a CRM in general, let alone the one that I have and use and value, and regretted it. Email marketing. I love email marketing because it's kind of passive aggressive, and it is not really pressury. Pressure sales. You send out different emails. I hate spamming people. Hate it with a passion. Hate it with an absolute passion. So I only send like 4 or 5 emails a year. I send them a couple during the winter to keep me on my clients' minds. One during the summer if I get slow. Maybe a Christmas one, right? So email marketing is huge. It puts your product out there, your service out there, keeps you in the minds of these people that use it and look at their emails every day. So email marketing is a good one. Another one, referral programs. I implemented referral programs. If you don't know what a referral program is, it's like, say if you go wash Susie's windows and you say, Susie, thank you for having me there today. I'm going to give you 2 of these little cards that I made that maybe say 10% off or free window cleaning, whatever. If you give these out and refer me, or even if you do like a friend or family, referral, and they mention you that, oh yeah, Susie sent me. She loved your service. If that happens, if I get 5 of those, you get a free window cleaning, or you get 30% off or 50% off, whatever. So that's a referral program. You just reward people for giving other people that they know in their network your name and number, and then they book with you, and you have all the jobs in the world. It's a great way. My business started out early on from literally just word of mouth, and I never really went hard on referral programs because I went through a season of when I switched from part-time to full-time. I went from 0 to 1,000 miles an hour, so I didn't really need to implement a referral program. When I bring more folks on to help me in this journey of growing this business, I probably will, because we're going to need a lot more jobs. I'm going to need 3 to 4 times the jobs that I have now. So referral programs is an absolute good one. Another one kind of goes hand in hand with email marketing and maybe a little bit of social media is content marketing. Okay, so maybe that's creating a blog, that's creating a podcast that exhibits your product or your content, your service, and it puts it in front of people. Maybe not as strong as the others, but I think if anything, like adding a blog to your website or something like that. I just got a new website, and I think I'm going to add something to a page, like a blog. It helps with your Google Analytics. It helps with the crawlers that go through all your pages. And if you're constantly updating those, then it's fantastic. Google absolutely drools over that. So content marketing, it's always about keeping you in front of the client. Look at all these big Amazon, all these massive businesses. You see them everywhere. They're everywhere, whether you know it or it's subliminal, right? A couple more. Trade shows. I think this more implements if you're trying to grow, if you're at a point and you're I'm content, but I want more. I need to grow. I want to hire a little bit more. I've done a couple trade shows. They were more, so being in window cleaning, I mostly speak with women. That's just the way it goes. And I did one a couple years ago that was actually gifted to me. It was really awesome. Called the Women's Expo here in Kalamazoo, Michigan. And it worked out well. I think if I would have had my wife there with me, it would have went a little bit better. It was just me, a bunch of women, I didn't scare anybody off or anything. I just think it would have went a lot more smooth, a little bit more smoother in regards to people approaching me and asking about my services. I had the whole setup. If I find a picture, I'll throw it up. But it was one of those things. I was kind of just starting off full time, so I really wanted to get my name and image out there. And I did a little slip that said, fill out this form for a free window cleaning. Not even sure if I ever gave that away, to be honest. I kind of forgot about it. But it got me folks. It's just a good way to collect information, to throw into your email marketing program, throw into your campaign. It kind of slides into the next one that I want to get into is direct mail. You can kind of slide that info in, and it's nonchalant, right? They don't know it's from this. They don't know it's from that. So I think trade shows could be, if you find the right ones, and you figure out what works for your specific niche, I think they could be pretty dang valuable as well. Last one that I want to present with you is direct mail. Better than door knocking. I'm giving you all these things that are better than door knocking, so you don't have to door knock. Please don't door knock. Please don't door knock. Direct mail. So with direct mail, I can do half of this stuff via my CRM. Like I said, customer relationship management system. I can send out postcards via my CRM. I can send out email marketing campaigns via my CRM. Honestly, I might be able to start a referral program via my CRM as well. But direct mail is when you create a postcard or a flyer, whatever, and you tunnel it in with a post office, and you pay so much amount of money, and then they'll just creep it in these. You can pick like neighborhoods, zip codes, area codes, whatever, and you can just blast at one time. Now I think it's like a 1 or 3% retention or something like that, right? Where you'll get a response, but you know, if you send out 5,000, that's quite a few jobs. So I think it works too. So, I mean, I gave you all these things. Let's just go through them one more time. Things that are better than door knocking. Networking. Plugging yourself in the networking events. Social media. Create those social media accounts. Cold calling. It's better. Provide value. Personalize it. Email marketing. Referral programs. Content marketing. Creating blogs. Podcasts. Doing trade shows, direct mail, all these things. And this is one thing too that I really want to get out there is a lot of guys think that these things just happen. Boom. People that created their businesses, especially home-based service-based businesses, they're like, how did you get so busy? And it's like, dude, I've been doing this for 4 years. This did not happen overnight. A lot of guys think that this is just going to happen overnight. I'm talking to a lot of guys this year that are like, oh, I'm having trouble getting jobs. I'm like, oh, when did you start? They're like, oh, about 6 months ago. I'm like, man, you know how hard it is to grind that out the first about 2 years before you really make a name for yourself if you're taking the right steps. I'm really thinking about because like I said, I'm just getting into the hiring game and growing in that way. But like, I think I'm really good at the baby steps from the idea of the service business to the boom, I'm so busy I need to hire. Like I feel like I learned so much. I'm thinking about just creating either I don't know, I want to be scummy and create like a program to sell, but like just something that's maybe valuable to somebody that then to charge like a one-time fee, right? I mean, just something for my time. You know, just something that would help people and, you know, help the guys that just need the ideas. And honestly, I'm giving you all of it now anyway, so they can just come on here. But if they just want like a compact go-to, you know, manual, maybe a small manual or something, I don't know, we'll see. But to close this out, I just wanted to come on here because it's been on my brain, you know, a while, and I see these videos and I'm cringing because it's like, man, when somebody comes to my door, I don't want you coming to my door trying to sell me something that like to ask a question to these guys that are going door to door. Are you ever going to see these clients again? Are these clients really valuable clients? Are you collecting their info? Are these going to be repeat clients? Probably not. Probably not going to be repeat clients for you. And you've bargained yourself down and dropped your value. Maybe that should be a $500 house. You're doing it for $250 because you're in that neighborhood. You're really trying, you know, my guys are already here. I'll knock it that stuff. No, man. If you want to build a sustainable business, a growing, thriving, culture-rich business, don't door knock. And that's the bottom line. And I'm pretty fired up about this. But as you can see, I'm passionate about it. So don't be crummy. Don't door knock. And if you're doing it, and maybe some people have positive results on it, but you know, there's nothing that throws an ick in my mouth than watching some guy pressure sales a lady that didn't even call him in the first place about washing the windows that probably aren't that dirty. Yeah, ew. Anyway, thanks for watching. I'm gonna try to get some more episodes up here quicker. I've been out for about a couple weeks. My season's been starting. It's going to snow this week in Michigan. Going to be the 70s next week. It's a circus. But like I said, thanks for watching. If you haven't, throw me a sub. Just hit 300 subscribers. Thank you guys so much. This thing's growing quicker than I thought. I'm going to try and get some more quality content on here. If you have any more ideas, if you want to know any other, just opinions of mine, drop them in the comments. Give me some ideas. I'm really thriving for culture-rich content on here. So yeah. Thank you. Have a great week.